I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
understand. So you're basically telling me anyone who's successful now is white. I mean, I know that's not what
Mm,
you said. I'm paraphrasing, right?
right.
Because I want to go back to this whole Jane Fonda thing. So let's hold the white thing for a second. So Jane Fonda
Okay.
says she's at Cannes and she says to follow. Here's what she ends up saying, and you just sit there and
Okay.
going, I mean, whatever she's smoking, I want some, right? It's good for all of us to realize there would be no climate crisis if there was no racism, and there would be no climate crisis if there was no patriarchy. And
Mm.
climate change is being caused exclusively by men, specifically white men, adding that those men must be arrested and jailed. I'm going like, I mean, I know we call her Hanoi Jane, right? Because she was against the Vietnam War and all that other stuff. And, she found herself in leotards in the 80s and teaching people how to work out. Of course, plastic surgery, like 42 times doesn't hurt either when you're 80, whatever. But, unlike, we call her Hanoi, Jane, but, unlike true heroes like John McCain in the Hanoi Hilton for 5 years, I mean, maybe when real soldiers were in prison in the war, she was doing LSD or some sort of mushrooms or something. Because I don't even know what the hell she's talking about. Explain this to me.
I
What does this mean?
I can't fathom. Excuse me, Robert. I can't even keep my drink in my mouth. It's so. I'm going. What is that? I don't know what that means. It's like only white people, only white men. What want things made in factories? Want to buy goods and services that create pollution when they're manufactured? Because I'm pretty sure she probably has an Android phone or an iPhone or something
And a
like that,
private jet.
and which uses fuel and is
No, no, no.
like all of.
She has an electric private jet. Didn't you know?
Oh my God. Yeah, that'll be the day. Like, so it's just what is so funny is Hitchens Razor says that which can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. And no, we do not need a razor to tell us that.
If you have no proof, if you have no proof, by the way, if you have no
Yeah, that's
proof,
what
it's an opinion. And you know what they say about opinions?
it's like everybody's got one. Just like
There's a little
what.
right. There's a little lead up to that, but then they say everybody's got one. But
Yeah, exactly. So like,
I want
what is her evidence? What is she attributing that to? What is like?
Well, according to the article, she's done all this research and study, and she's now enlightened, and she realized that everything is connected. So by the way, everything that's connected
Oh,
is the following. All right, here's everything that's connected. Let's see. Sexism, racism, misogyny, homophobia, whatever, the war. If you really get into it and study and learn about it, which means that she's learned about it, and
she's done the work.
yeah, subtle condescension there, but what do you think? It's still Jane here we're talking about. So
Yeah,
there'd be
yeah,
no
she's
climate
better than you.
crisis, and it's all connected. It's amazing. But look, I want to move on because you said something else because my comment was the largest polluter in the world is China, and China doesn't have white men. Now, I thought we were color coding, right? There are white men, black men, brown
Mm,
men, yellow men, red men, right? I
mm.
don't know if I'm
Oh
supposed
no,
to say
that's
that.
all racist.
Is that all racist? Okay,
No, it's
but
all white and non-white now.
oh, is it? Oh, so we're bifurcating. Okay, I didn't know that. We're bifurcating. Okay, but last I knew, Asians were referred to, yellow, and white men are Caucasian or white, and this one's black. I mean, look, I don't agree with
Right,
any of that anyway because I
right.
think there's too many damn labels. But China is, without a question, the largest polluter in the world. So, and
Yeah.
they're not. Let's call them non-white. So, how does that fit into all of this?
I think that
Because you said
that
affirmative action and all that stuff. If they get in and they're successful, they're considered white. I mean, explain that to
yeah.
me.
The idea is that there is this belief. Okay, so when you're looking at things like race Marxism, as an example, so James
Sure.
Lindsay is an excellent resource for this. He's got a great book out. He's got a lot of really great um, talks on this. But it's the idea that if that they're really in the end, it's not about color. It's about oppressed and oppressor. And that's really what the difference is. You either have the oppressed or you have the oppressor. And so if the original oppressor is the white man, right? So we as white people are the original oppressor as the colonizers of the world, even though everybody was colonizing everywhere.
Wait a minute. What happened to the Romans? What happened to the Chinese? What happened to the
Mongols?
The Mongols? I mean, what happened
no
to
one
the,
has-
what happened to the Ottoman Empire? What happened to
Okay, so
what happened to
Robert,
Persia? What am I missing?
remember, time started in 2020.
That's good. It'd make me a lot younger
Yeah,
then. If time started in 2020, then I'd be like, what, 3? I don't think I want to go to 3. Can I start at like 35? I want to start at 35.
I mean, literally,
This is such crap. This is such crap.
There's this weird belief that like somehow the United States or the West is unique in the abomination that was slavery, indentured servitude and things like that, which still go on today.
Excuse me. The Jews were slaves in Egypt. I believe if you read the Bible, the Old
2,000
Testament,
years ago.
I think I don't know if the Jews were the original slaves, but they certainly predate African slaves, at least on modern record. And by the way, all slaves didn't come from Africa. Just saying.
But again, remember though, Jews are white people now. Okay, so you
excuse me, Jews back then were brown people because they were Sephardic.
Okay,
Don't
stop using
question
reason.
me.
So
This
is the problem.
Don't question me.
You're
on that.
trying to use reason. This is the thing that people
First mistake. Oops.
Literally, the one thing that is the kind of through line to all of these conversations is that none of it makes any sense. It's literally just people saying things and not having good reasoning behind it to try to demonize, separate, and cause chaos.
Demagogue.
That's all it is.
Demagogue, demonize, and divide, as I like to say.